Good evening. I'm Mamie Yang. I'm the director of the Henry Waldinger Library in Valley Stream. Welcome to the first concert in this third annual series of classical music recitals in 2023, presented by the library via Zoom. Tonight's program features four compositions, including two world premieres performed by soprano Helene Williams and the pianist-composer Leonard Lehrman, the co-founders of the Court Street Music here in Valley Stream, along with the violinist Daniel Hyman and guest hornist Noah Fotis, who will also introduce two more of his colleagues on his recording. As in all these concerts, the vocal music has been subtitled by Dr. Lehrman. This program is part of the 2023 Composers Now Festival and is also the first in a series of programs entitled Music of Love and Social Consciousness, made possible with funds from the Maldeb Foundation. Thank you, Joel. David Tenenberg, the Professor Edgar H. Lehrman Memorial Foundation, and the statewide Community Regrant Program, a regrant program of the New York State Council of the Arts with the support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature, and administered by the Huntington Arts Council Incorporated. The library has been very proud to present these recitals over the past few years. As our library board president recently said, that's put the library on the map. Our 2021 series, thanks to the regrant funding, featured the works of 59 composers and the company of 27 guest performers, writers, interpreters, composers, and their heirs, writing and calling from across the North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. In 22, when the series received only private funding, we had 7 guest composers and 5 guest performers in doing the works of 35 composers. This year, Leonard was fortunate to get regrant funding, and we will have one more concert at the library on June 27th, and it's devoted again to students and teachers, and there will be additional Court Street music concerts co-sponsored by the Valley Stream Historical Society on July 30th and August 20th. Links to all these programs are posted on Leonard's website and viewable on his YouTube channel, which includes over 4,000 videos, including all 12 of his operas and 5 of his 7 musicals. And the channel has over 1,000 subscribers and over 1 million views. You can also watch the pre-recorded music at https://10url.com/7Feb2023. I'm going to put that in the chat, and the schedule for the 2023 program is also going to be put in the chat. So now, to introduce tonight's program is Dr. Leonard Lehrman.
Thank you so much, Mamie Eng, for co-sponsoring and hosting us again today and all our recent house concerts. My wife, Helene Williams, and I have lived in Valley Stream for 23 and a half years. Today's concert is our 690th together, our 18th Valley Stream Library Zoom performance, each of them with our dear friend and colleague, Daniel Hyman. Tonight's program is our 3rd annual commemoration of Black History Month and was inspired by the work of our dear friend, composer-conductor Kevin Scott, who is with us again. Hello, Kevin.
We're getting right. Hello, Leonard. How are you? Glad to see you and everybody here in the room. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, we'll come back to you a little later. We've known you since 1987, shortly after you founded and conducted the Metropolitan Philharmonic Orchestra, which I then conducted, and together with the Metropolitan Philharmonic Chorus that I founded in my Rosenberg cantata, Elie Siegmeister's I Have a Dream cantata, which you sang in, as a matter of fact, and numerous other performances, including most recently the staged orchestral premiere of my completion of Mark Blitzstein's Sacco and Vanzetti, which was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize on December 20th. 2 years ago, we were proud to commission you, Kevin, to write a piece for us, and you chose to expand on a sketch you had already started, culminating in your Night Journey for violin, horn, and piano. Our violinist, Dan Hyman, and I were very pleased with that idea, as we figured we could couple your work with one of the most beautiful pieces we know, the Trio for Violin, Horn, and Piano by Brahms. We actually read through the Brahms with a hornist you sent us, and then about half your piece before she gave up on us, finding it too challenging. We then engaged another fine hornist last year, who unfortunately broke her lip in a car accident and couldn't play for 6 months. Then we found a budding young hornist getting his doctorate at Stony Brook, Noah Fotis, who had not only performed the Brahms 7 years ago, but was eager, willing, and able to conquer your piece with us, and had written a brilliant transcription of one of our favorite pieces, the Shostakovich Trio No. 2, substituting horn for cello. So, of course, we hired him to play all those pieces with us, and we're going to hear them all today. We'll come back to you, Kevin, just before we play your piece. First, we're going to start with a short, very short new piece composed for Helene to premiere today. I wrote it on the French West Indian island of Martinique during our trip there last December, and based it on a poem I found in the beautiful Shellshare Library by the Black poet of Negritude, Aimé Césaire, whom I discovered there. By the way, I just found this picture of him. That's Aimé Césaire, who was an amazing individual, born in 1913. He lived until 2008. He was the mayor of Martinique's capital, Fort-de-France, from 1945 to 2001. His poem succinctly laments the sadness and tragedy of his people's history, suffering from slavery, volcanic destruction, colonialism, and racism. There are quite a few recordings on the internet of actors reading this particular poem, sometimes with background music, but I believe this is actually its first musical setting, and I know it's his first translation. Helene Williams sings it in the original French, then in my English translation, with 2 interludes in between, one for piano and violin played by Daniel Hyman, and one for piano, violin, and horn played by Noah Fotis. It's a begin, of course, that dance form having originated in the French Caribbean, and we hope you like it. Blues de la Pluie.